Huh. I mean, I like this one when I first saw it. Directed by Gavin Pohl and written by Andrew Kevin Walker, starring Georgina Campbell as Jane Archer, a trooper chasing down Richard Joshua Reeves, or the Satanic Slasher. Now, this is an old school manhunt slasher film, and honestly, upon first watch, I really liked it. Don't get me wrong, I'm well aware that this film has plenty of flaws, and I'm typically the I can do it better guy. I'm aware that this film lacks a lot of things, but I feel like the bones, at least in this case, are good. Jane is after the slasher because he killed her trooper husband right in front of her, and she couldn't save him. The slasher, on the other hand, is on a killing spree, heading towards his own destination, a few destinations that we will get to shortly. It's a classic of the genre, where we have her chase him down and find out where he is when the FBI failed to do so. Georgina Campbell gives her all as the widow on a warpath, a woman who is clever but still, frankly, out of her depth in a fist fight against a hulking slasher that really does look the part. One of the plot lines of this film is how the killer strongly resembles a former mass murderer, Richard Reeves. Most likely a copycat killer. As the film goes on, we realized he isn't killing aimlessly. He has goals. Whether it's for drugs, for dynamite, or for something bigger. But before we can have that, we have two close calls with Jane almost getting the slasher. Once at a hotel, when she didn't wait for backup, but she never gets yelled at. We never get the scene. I guess they couldn't afford the police precinct because it's a micro-budget film. The second time, though, is at this odd satanic house, which, look, I like the idea of there being like an underground cult of Satanists that hate the system and use analog because it's harder to track. I like that. And that's one of those little touches that I really like. He broke into a library and stole 2 books because, again, you can't track that. He stole some encyclopedias, or what do you call it? Yeah, encyclopedias. At this cult house, he notices how they preach the word of Satan, but don't really follow the rules. They still do drugs and perform acts of debauchery, which the slasher really does take exception to. It's a brutal killing scene with some really bad CGI, but hey ho, here we are. And he even lets the little one live, telling him, "You're not like the others. You are a real believer." Also, he has a really creepy voice box voice. I kind of like that. But anyway, going back, he lets the little one live. He has some level of conviction there. His ultimate goal is to cause a nuclear meltdown that will melt a hole down into hell and cause harm. And that's not exactly the worst plot line. It's psychotic, but what do you expect from someone called the Satanic Slasher? He jumps from being a killer to a terrorist to a mass murderer pretty quickly. And again, I don't hate all of these ideas. The third act is particularly good with Jane able to chase him down and prevent him from blowing up the entire city to hell. It's not bad. All this complimenting to say, I can see how hollow this movie is and how hollow it can come off sometimes. There were some shortcomings. This movie is a lean 90 minutes, but maybe an extra 10 could have provided more story, or a bigger budget could have allowed for better effects or bigger and better set pieces. It could have used more work, but for a guy who grew up with nothing but really bad slashers, I grew up in a bad era of slashers, guys. From My Bloody Valentine to Prom Night, Halloween Resurrection, I'd rather have this. This, for me at least, is a 5 out of 10 and a high 5 at that. I just got that joke. That's it. What did you think of Psycho Killer? Did you watch it? It's out on VOD now. Let us know down below. I really appreciate it. Catch y'all next time. See you, everybody.